welcome to Couple of Instigators. Look, Steve's already like, okay, here we go. Let me do the introduction.
I was saying okay to your Zoom meeting.
The Zoom lady.
I'm recording it now.
All right, listen, tonight I have an amazing comic, Steve Wrigley, and my very good friend, Sarah, who is also a comic. Sarah messaged me and said, what do I need to do for the podcast? And I, not knowing, I would just basically be the voice of reason because it's me and Steve. So
just referee, basically.
Just be the voice of reason. Sarah's here to make sure me and Steve don't get canceled. Number one with anything.
I don't really care anymore though, Cindy. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone went, oh, well, let's go after Steve Wrigley, I'd be happy for the publicity, to be honest.
Okay.
I've got a show to sell next week.
All right. Yeah. Basically, I normally do have my co-host Lauren with me, who is a very young, woke person, girl. And I love her. Okay. She's amazing. She's young, she's woke. And she gives me this look like, wrangle it in, bitch. So
what have you said that's gotten you that look?
I can't even tell you the amount of things I've said, but thank God for editing, but we're not editing this, son. So we're going straight to.
We're going to grip it and rip it, baby.
We're going straight to Apple tonight, baby. Because we are out here. We are plugging Steve's show. I have been dying to get both of you on the podcast. So last minute I hit up Sarah, but honestly, Sarah does deserve her own episode too. So we are going to highlight Steve on this one tonight.
I like that, although to highlight Sarah, I do like that you've gone for the my room is my personality video frame.
I'm sorry?
You're showcasing your personality through your room. And I feel like that door is part of it. Like I'm seeing the shelves. It's my face is not enough camera frame.
She's got a guitar. She's showing off her musical talent right there.
Can you play the guitar?
It's very dusty. I don't really play it. I've tried.
It's just like it's a cute decoration.
It's off the floor. It's not going to get ruined. That's what that is.
I can't wait for the day that you go, I'm having some real trouble thinking of some new comedy, but I've got a really good idea for a song. And I'm going to see you up there on stage and you're going to be like, my cats.
She's going to be the new Phoebe from Friends. Smelly cat, but she's going to have her own.
Dude, you should be worried if I ever bring my cats on stage. That's when you should get concerned. Because that could happen. I have a backpack.
What if you went for your for an AGT audition, right? For an America's Got Talent audition, you just went out with your cats. And they're like, oh, do your cats do tricks? And you're like, no, just look at them.
They're just my support animals.
Yeah, do you have that bag, Sarah, with the bubble?
Yes.
Oh, I've got some crazy cat lady friends that have that bag with the little bubble the cat can look out, right?
I like the bubble bag.
The bubble bag. All right, well, Steve, let's get to you. You are the wonder from down under that is now.
What? Is that are we going with that? Is that official?
I don't know. I don't know. You're the wonder from down under.
We're testing it out.
We're feeling out the waters. We're giving you fancy names.
We're dipping a toe in. I like it.
So I mean, this is how stupid I am, but New Zealand is still down under.
As far down under as you can go before you get to like just big chunks of ice that there may or may not be land underneath.
Yeah, I'm showing you where I paid attention in history class right now.
Don't worry, I've met Americans who think that there's a bridge from Australia to New Zealand.
No, I knew that wasn't true.
You had to think about it, though. That's
I did.
worrying.
I had to just think about that for a minute, but I know it's not true.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy things. I've had people ask me what language they speak there.
Yeah, well, they speak
New
Zealand.
There's not a language?
I mean,
there's an accent.
It's this one. There is the Maori language is one that we all learn at school, but everyone speaks. We just speak the Queen's English. Actually, thank you very much.
Wait, is that the one you just mentioned? Is that like Pig Latin? Because I know Pig Latin.
Do you?
Yeah.
Me
Wait.
too.
What is pig Latin?
Ig P Attenley.
Wait, what did you say?
Ig P Attenley.
What did she say?
I said pig Latin.
Pig Latin.
Oh, geez. You guys, I barely can speak English. Don't even, I mean, I'm struggling with one language over here. Okay. I'm struggling.
You're doing great.
Steve, you were, so you're a comedian from New Zealand.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in the States?
I've lived here for 8 years now.
8 years.
Yeah, lived here, but I've been coming here since 2004. Yeah, 2004 was my first trip over here. Yeah. I love it.
And do you like it here better? I mean, you don't have to, do you know what? I love New York. I love a lot of the American lifestyle. But I mean, obviously Cindy, listen, I got an email the other day, right, after doing a show. Let's get straight to the beef here. Because America is awesome, but some people are so freaking intense and weird, and they do things that I don't understand. I got an email from a show I did a couple nights ago. They said, such and such has a question about your event. We thought the comedy was great, but we really weren't impressed with the final guy. Only great things to say about New Zealand and only bad things to say about the US. Maybe that will fly in his country, but not with us here.
Not with us.
You can feel free to contact me at, and then he left his number.
Really?
And
Let's get him on the pod right now.
To call. Just call him right now.
Excuse me. Listen, Brian, is it?
I said one thing about New Zealand.
We don't have people call in. We call them.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What a weird. So there was someone. That's what I find odd, right? I love everything, but it's that crazy mentality of people who are like patriotism, but like you're not loving your country is great, but like,
Yeah.
You love grandma, but if grandma shows up drunk to the funeral, you put her in a car and send her home and engage in some self-care, right?
Yeah. Do you think it's America, or do you think it's like as time progresses? Like if you went back to New Zealand, do you think there's a subset of people that are kind of wacky? Or do you think it's, you know what I mean?
There's definitely wacky people there. They just had, people were like lighting fires in the streets and stuff. There were a group of people protesting outside of Parliament. None of them really on the same page. Supposedly it was anti-vax, anti-mandate, but a reporter went down there to talk to someone, and they started talking to this guy, and he's like, the earth is flat or whatever, or like he went into one of the conspiracy theories, Hillary Clinton drinks the blood of babies or whatever. And someone else walked up and pushed the guy out of the way and went, no, he's not actually a part of our group. We don't believe what he believes. He's crazy. And then they said, what do you believe? And they said that the government is infecting all of us with radiation. So literally this is what's happened now, right? Is all the crazy people have found each other. The internet was a mistake, right?
Yeah, you know what? That is an amazing way to put it. All the crazy people have now found each other. They're
just like blobbed on.
That pretty much does cover a lot of.
The internet was a mistake, right? There used to be the village idiot, but somehow they all found each other and became an army. So they're not a village anymore. They're just there's a nation full of idiots out there. They've all found each other. They all reinforce each other's ideas. So yeah, people are crazy in New Zealand, but what you don't, like I've never talked about politics in New Zealand. And mind you, like your question, Sarah, I guess is right. Cause like, I don't know, maybe if I did go, I haven't been back to New Zealand for 3 years now because of the, I don't know if you guys have heard, but the government are trying to infect everyone with radiation. So it's not safe to fly. And I wonder if I went back now though, if I like did some jokes that were politically inclined, that I'd have people who would send me an email and go, I was at Steve Wrigley's show the other day and he said that New Zealand has a very bad history of domestic violence, and that's just not okay. We're not like that here. I don't know. Maybe. We do have a really awful history of domestic violence in New Zealand. That's really bad. After sports games, of course. Because the team lost. So we've got to lose our fucking minds.
I was really worried when the Bills did lose that last game because I thought, man, a lot of women are going to get their ass kicked tonight, you know? I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact. It's you know, statistically,
Yeah, people don't like losing. Look what happened. They lost an election and they were like, let's go beat the shit out of a building.
Let's go scale a fucking wall. God. I know.
People would be furious. But I don't know. It's weird. I got this. It's like so. Don't you think that is odd that this guy was like, no one says those things about my country? And do you know what I did? I did my bit about Trump being a fucking idiot and Biden being just as dumb. Basically, if I was going to break the bit down to, it's like I essentially do a joke about Trump and then a joke about Biden about 6 times in a row. And I then just talk about how they're both stupid and the whole system sucks, but bums. And then I moved on. And then the only thing I said about New Zealand was that we don't have any guns. We have one gun and the cops have to share it with the criminals. And then I literally just went into my set, Sarah. I did all my other stuff about getting married and meeting my wife and everything. But him seeing me being critical of America on stage was enough for him. The next day to wake up and go, you know what? You were going to let it go, Terry, but no. We're going to email that guy. And gave me his phone number. I can call him. I can call this guy up and I can say, do you think that you're the one in this situation that has got his head screwed on straight? Is that what you think is going on? Do you think you're the level-headed guy? And then just let him talk.
Do it.
Maybe you can get him a spot on your next show. He could kind of verify,
Just do it bumping Mike style at the same time so that when you say something he disagrees with, he can just be like, actually.
Their attitude is so goofy though, isn't it? Their attitude that like, if you don't like it here, go somewhere else. But it's fine. I'm not saying I don't like it, but there are things to make fun of, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Let's face it. But like, what is the weather in New Zealand primarily?
Summer right now. A shit fight. It depends on where you are. In Wellington, where I grew up, it's a fucking mess. Like you can always spot people from my city because they'll be the ones walking around on a sunny day with an umbrella and a coat. Because we know that any second now the weather's going to go sideways, rain, go fuck yourself, right?
Yeah.
But in Auckland, it's pretty clement. So it's only like about a day's drive. But then when you get to Auckland, it's always mostly nice. The winter can be a bit rough, but it's just rain.
But not like here.
No,
there's no brutal cold like here, right?
Dude, now that I've lived here in upstate New York for 8 years, when I go back to New Zealand, and my friends in New Zealand say it's cold, I become a fucking Game of Thrones character.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know cold. You don't know cold. It comes for you in the night.
It just freezes your bones.
Yourself by blanket.
It comes for you in the night. You'll never know that fear.
When you forget to leave the heat on and go to bed and wake up the next morning and just everything is frozen. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. People in New Zealand don't know cold. They don't know it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the same with, I've got friends in Florida and they were just crying that it was 60 and they had to pull out their Uggs and winter coats. I'm like, less. That's what, I'm like 60, like they're insane. But the craziest thing about South Florida is when it gets below 60, those goddamn iguanas start falling out of the trees because it gets...
What?
You didn't know that? Yeah, when they
hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Iguanas fall out of the trees. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, it's too cold.
It's too cold. So when they get really cold, they go into like a shock